the UNC to clearly outline its national development framework while maintaining continuity in key programs started under the former administration. Beckles questioned how the government plans to address revenue shortfalls, rising unemployment, and social instability given slow energy output and the repeal of the Revenue Authority. She also cautioned that any fiscal goodies could come with cuts elsewhere. And finally, Tobago police are investing 2 sudden deaths discovered just hours apart on Saturday, raising concerns among residents. The deceased have been identified as Michael Small, age 70, and Anderson Goodrich, 63, who were found in separate locations across the island. Small's body was discovered near a water tank in Lowlands with no visible sign of violence, while Goodrich was found unresponsive behind a bridge in Studley Park. Both bodies were taken to the Scarborough mortuary as investigations continue. And that was the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Brianna, for our news there in 90 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. And this morning we start off the birthday celebrations by saying happy birthday to the larger-than-life herself, Miss Sharon Phillips. She's celebrating a birthday today, and we do say happy birthday to you. And we pray God's blessings upon your life. We do hope that you have a wonderful and an amazing birthday today, celebrating in Bega. So happy birthday to you.
We continue the celebrations and we say happy birthday to Father Jean-Paul Henry. Happy birthday to you, Father Jean-Paul Henry. Today is your birthday. God's richest blessings on a special day, yes. And we pray that you continue to be a blessing and a blessing to other person's lives, yes, as you continue your divine purpose of shepherding those here on earth and bringing them closer to Christ. And we pray that you enjoy today and you'll stay safe, and that your upcoming year will be guided by the Holy Spirit, and that everything that you put your heart to, you will achieve.
And we continue by saying happy birthday to Keishel Woodley. Keishel Woodley is also celebrating a birthday today. And Keishel, we do hope that as you enter this new chapter and this new phase of your life, that you find joy, peace, love, and fulfillment. Happy birthday to you as well.
Happy birthday to Natasha Brown Allen. Yes, happy birthday, Miss Brown Allen. We wish you God's richest blessings on your birthday. We pray that you're surrounded with friends and family, loved ones, all well wishers. And I think you have a positive and productive day today, and enjoy it to the fullest and stay safe while doing so.
And as we continue, we say happy belated birthday to Keela with Locks into Air. She celebrated her birthday on the weekend, and we say happy belated birthday to you. And we do pray God's richest blessings upon your life. And as you enter this new chapter, this new phase, and this new season, that you walk in grace and that you have an amazing, amazing birthday experience. Should we round up the birthday greetings together? Yes. Finally, we say happy belated birthday to Princess Araya Wood. She celebrated her birthday yesterday. Yes, she is a big girl now, and we want to say happy belated birthday to you, coming to you from all of us here at Tobago Updates Television family. Yes, we say a happy birthday to you, and the name might sound familiar to you guys. You can figure it out, but Princess Araya celebrated her birthday yesterday, and we want to wish her the very, very best. And remember, if you are celebrating, even though we don't have your photographs, we join in the celebrations with you, because over here we like a good celebration. But we remind you to put God first, because He is the sole reason why there's even anything for you to celebrate. As we continue with our program this morning, Akinlabi, who are we having conversations with this morning?
Well, this morning we are having our typical Monday morning TTPS updates, and we're going to have one Sergeant Emmanuel York of the TTPS. He's going to be giving us those TTPS updates, as well as speaking to us about traffic regulations during the Tobago Carnival 2025. You know that Tobago Carnival is just about 2 weeks away, so he will be giving us those updates. As well, we're going to have an extended interview with President of Tobago, Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, and she's going to talk to us about the activities for Tobago Carnival 2025.
Absolutely, absolutely amazing. And of course, viewers, we do hope that you can be a part of the conversation. Remember, we want to hear what you have to say. We want to know what questions you want asked. And to do that, you can leave your comments on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube channel at Tobago Updates. We have to go for a short break before we begin conversations this morning in studio. But as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show. Live more.
Welcome to Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, where innovation meets excellence and service reigns supreme. Our commitment is simple: to provide high-quality, innovative aluminum, vinyl, and glass solutions for both commercial and residential spaces. At TGSL, we don't just meet needs, we exceed expectations. Our range includes the finest aluminum cladding options, setting new standards in durability and style. Driven by our passion to elevate, we aim to be the leading supplier in the Caribbean market while retaining our identity as a family-owned business. Because at Tobago Glass Supplies Limited, it's not just about products. It's about relationships, it's about you. Innovation, quality, service. That's Tobago Glass Supplies Limited.
So guys, there are some new developments in housing in Tobago. So it's goat racing time. This is 116, the show that keeps you in the know with all things Tobago House of Assembly. Each week, 116 delivers a fun and engaging overview of the latest developments, achievements, activities, and events of our dynamic assembly. So join me. Let's dive into the Tobago House of Assembly's Week in Review right here on 116.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Tobago, are you ready to light up the night? Join us for the Lambo Credit Union's Moonlight Miles for Diabetes Glow Walk 2025.
On Saturday, November 15th at Canoe Bay Nature Resort, we'll walk, glow, and raise awareness for a healthier tomorrow.
From 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends for plenty glow energy.
Registration is just $180 per person, or grab your crew of 5 for only $150 each.
Sign up online or at Lambo Credit Union branches before October 31st.
For more registration and payment details, visit lambocreditunion.com and search Moonlight Miles today.
The road is calling. Tobago Carnival, Neon is coming. Presenting the mashup king himself, DJ Kai, alongside the voice of the people, Boy Boy. The dynamic duo bringing pure fire to the road, CSI Khaled and Selector Stefan. And Tobago's own, the people's champion, DJ Big Youth. This is Neon Night Mass. One road, one rhythm, one experience. Tobago Carnival 2025. We outside.
Have our conversations with them, and we have with us this morning Sergeant Emmanuel York, and he's going to be bringing us the TTPS crime updates. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Adana. Good morning, Nakili. For the past week, Tobago has been pretty much safe. Right. What we had over the weekend, as most people would know, there were two bodies found, one at Studley Park and one at Lowlands. Right. Those are presently active investigations, so we cannot say what, if anything, went on with those bodies. We also had a situation where we recovered a firearm over the weekend, and added to that, we recovered a vehicle that was stolen in Trinidad. The person was arrested. He also had a drug called Molly, so he was arrested for those offenses. He's presently assisting the police in Trinidad with this investigation as the vehicle was stolen in Trinidad. So I must say kudos to Inspector Alfred and his team for a job well done in that seizure and taking that person off the streets.
Congratulations as well. And just before we move on to our next topic, I just want to touch a little bit on the mobile policing in Scarborough. Can you give us any updates in terms of the impact? Because they've been there for a couple of months now, I believe. How have you seen a reduction in crime in terms of controlling crime? I know for the last week we had quite a quiet time here on the island of Tobago. Can you attribute it to that as well?
Yes, I can. And I'm glad you brought that up, because just when Thursday, somebody made a report to the officers who were at the booth in relation to an offense of pre-dia larceny, and they arrested the perpetrator while on patrol at the booth there. So the booth is working, right? It makes access to persons a lot easier. So instead of coming up to the station to make that report, he made it right there. They saw the person and he was arrested, and he went before the courts. So yes, there's a good impact from that booth there. And they even assist with the traffic regulations in Scarborough, right? Also, we have this problem with school children going to the back of the mall and assembling in front of the drugstore and so on. They are mandated to deal with those things also. So yes, I have seen a great impact from the booth and the officers operating at the booths.
Sergeant York, we know that there have been 6 murders on the island, and they reported that 4 have been solved. In terms of the other 2, can you give us an idea of how those investigations are going?
Well, as I said before, those investigations are ongoing investigations, and we treat each offense on its own merit. So, yes, we have leads, but that we are following up on, right? But I wouldn't be able to say much on them because of the fact that they are at a sensitive stage and they are ongoing investigations.
All right. Well, we do hope that the TTPS finds successes in solving those murders, as well as other criminal activities where criminals are apprehended and arrested, that we can find resolution where they are concerned. So I want to move now to our next topic. we're talking about preparing for the October the Tobago Carnival, which takes place later on this month, I think in the next 2 weeks, in fact. And I know a lot of agencies have been coming together, state agencies, protective services, the committee, the planning committee, they have been coming together to put logistics in place for to ensure that we have a safe carnival. And the TTPS, of course, plays a very, very important role. But we want to talk a little bit about the traffic regulations, because sometimes people might get a little confused or they might be frustrated when they want to get through one part and they can't pass there. So just to enlighten our viewers, to enlighten the general population and the users of especially that area, how is the traffic going to be managed and how is it going to be diverted in order for the revelers to have a good time as well as for the road users to use the road effectively?
Nice. The police, the TTPS is here to ensure safety and security. And we know that there will be inconvenience to some persons. What our function is to minimize these inconveniences as much as possible. And you brought up the carnival, but I think I'll start just before the carnival, because this coming weekend we have what we call Pan Omega, which takes place at the Market Square. That would also call for traffic restrictions to take place in Scarborough. So from about 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, we will have a blockage of the Calypso Rose Boulevard up to just where TT Post is. That is just before the Wilson Road traffic lights, right? And the entire area of Garden Side would be blocked off from 3 p.m. on Saturday, right? This is to facilitate the show actually starts at 7, but the blockage from that time is to facilitate the putting up of infrastructure as it relates to that function. Right? We don't want anybody to be injured or anybody's personal belongings, property to be damaged. And it gives us the time to have the vehicles that are in the area to get out. So we have that blockage from that period, right? Moving on to the carnival, what we would have is a blockage, well, the same as we had last year, where we blocked from the Spring Garden, the Orange Hill traffic lights, right, straight up to the Wilson Road traffic lights, and that entire cycle in Scarborough. But what we would be doing at the Wilson Road traffic light and the Orange Hill traffic lights is that it is going to be cutting a diagonal. The junction is going to be cutting a diagonal. Yeah. So the persons coming out from, the revelers coming out from Shore Park, they would use the eastern side of that intersection, while vehicles would be able to proceed on the western side up into Orange Hill.
Yes.
Right.
Right. And when you reach the Wilson Road traffic lights, that would just go in the opposite direction now. So the revelers will be on the western side of that intersection, and vehicles will be able to traverse the eastern side of that intersection. What we also did is that we have made the area of Mount Mary, that whole area to the back of RC, where RC is, the Bishop's High School, that whole zone in the back there, that will be used for emergency vehicles to get in and out of Scarborough, for the persons with the bands, for their vehicles to replenish whatever they need to replenish. What we see on that in that area is that there's a lot of tributaries that you could come out, Breeze Hall, Mount Mary, Smithfield number 1, Smithfield number 2, Sangsters Hill, Wilson Road. Right, so it makes it easy for them to access where their band is, and also for the emergency vehicles to get in and out. Now, there are persons who are living in the Scarborough area. Most of those persons living in the Scarborough area actually live in that Mount Mary area. So it will be easy for them to get in and out. That area would be accessed from the walkover at Bishop's High School, where you come from across Spring Garden, cross the highway, straight into Mount Mary. Right? we know that there's a church that takes place in there on a Sunday mornings. So those persons would also be able to utilize that area if they need to get in to get to church and get out before the revelry actually starts. Now, the blockage for that on Juve morning starts at 3 a.m. So I'm asking persons if you have to do anything in that area and you do not have passes, get in and get out before 3 a.m. Additionally, we would be issuing passes to persons from the senior soup's office, persons who have legitimate reasons to be in the enclosed area could apply for a pass and get it from the senior soup's office.
That was going to be my next question in terms of issuing passes, and you're saying persons with legitimate causes. What are some of the legitimate reasons that people would want to apply for a pass or qualify for a pass to get in and out in that time frame?
There are persons who work in the area who must get to work. We cannot stop the workers from going to work. So those persons would be eligible for passes. There are some persons who have businesses in the area. They would be granted passes to go to their business, right? The persons in the mass bands, they would be granted passes. Persons who have reasons to operate different workers within carnival settings would also be given passes. What I could say for the residents, once you show a proof of address to the officer you reach at the intersection, you would be granted access to get to your place of residence.
Whether or not you have a pass.
Whether or not you have a pass.
And churchgoers as well. For Sunday.
Right. The churchgoers would not be going into the actual carnival area, so, because they would be at the Mount Mary area. I think this church is at Smithfield.
There's a church in Sangsters Hill as well that you have to consider. So there's Smithfield, Sangsters Hill. I think those are the two churches in that area.
The other one would be the Adventist church, but they on
Saturday, so we don't have to.
If you remember from inception, I said that you get across to Mount Mary.
Right.
And all those areas, those two churches that you speak about, they are in the Mount Mary area, so they do not have to get onto the main area, so they would not really need a pass.
But as we raised the issue, we just spoke about the Adventist church. The Juve, I believe, finishes at a time that may clash with the time the Adventist church service begins, if I'm not mistaken. They might finish at around 9,
Juve
10.
finishes at 10.
Right. I'm not sure what time the Adventist church starts, but those persons, would they also need passes to get to their church to perhaps open and prepare for the service?
Right. Remember also, if you come down from that same Mount Mary area, you could get into the back where TLH is there, and they could access the area from there, right? Because let's be reasonable, there'll be revelry on the main road, and even though you're going to open a church, yes, you don't want to drive your car through all those persons to go there, right? So I would advise them to use that same access route at the back and get into their area, because the Juve finishes at 10. Most likely their service would start maybe 10 or thereafter, because it would not be feasible to have church going on whilst the revelry is taking place in Scarborough. So it most likely would be after the Juve celebrations are finished, so then they will be free to get to church.
And in terms of management of the traffic, because I know in as much as we put regulations in place and we advise the public, there are some persons who, I mean, you're reveling, there's alcohol involved, and sometimes your inhibitions might be a little bit out of control. Are you convinced that the TTPS has enough resources to ensure that the crowds can be managed, the traffic can be managed, and general behavior can be managed in such a way that the average person will not be affected negatively in throughout the carnival proceedings?
Yes, I'm positive that we can do that. We have sought and are getting assistance from our brothers in Trinidad, so there will be officers coming up to assist us. We also have assistance from the Defense Force. They also We'll have a group of persons there assisting us with the regulations of the traffic and supervision of the crowd in Scarborough. What I must say too, in relation to that area at Mount Mary, we'll be placing no parking signs along that area because it is not because of the fact that it is an emergency route and emergency exit. We do not want persons to park helter-skelter in the back there. So we would be placing no parking signs, and they would be enforced. There will be officers on patrol in the back there ensuring that that is done. And we're trying not to take away an extra $500 from persons when your vehicle is wrecked. Right? So we are asking persons to adhere to the road signs, adhere to the signs that are placed down, and let's all have a safe and enjoyable carnival.
And a good place to wrap up this conversation this morning, to have a good and a safe carnival. Thank you so much, Sergeant York, for coming on this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we're speaking with Sergeant Emmanuel York of the TTPS this morning as he brought to us the crime updates for the island of Tobago. Been very quiet for the past week, and we're happy about that. And of course, the regulations, the traffic regulations as it relates to events happening in and around the Scarborough area for the Tobago October Carnival. So take heed to the information and look out for more information as it relates, because you might be impacted and you want to be compliant to the rules. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations this morning, and as we go, we invite them to help us.
Share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back.
Rise and shine, Tobago. The breakfast vibes you've been waiting for is here.
When they wrong, tell you you's a big dancer.
It's time for Sun Up Tobago, the ultimate breakfast inclusive pool party that kicks off your carnival in style.
We come to take shots. She come to take shots.
Join us on Thursday, October 23rd from 6 a.m. to 12 noon at Scarborough House, 138 Milford Road. Music pumping, breakfast sizzling, coolers flowing, and vibes unmatched. This is where sun, sea, soca, and celebration collides. Get your early bird tickets now at Pablo Supermarket, Barcode, Lost Restaurant and Launch, Signature Cuts, IslandEtickets.com, and committee members. Don't miss the event where Tobago Carnival truly begins. Sun Up Tobago. Come for the breakfast, stay for the vibe.
Nirvana, Tobago's premier all-inclusive event for Carnival 2025. Join us for a night of elegance, energy, and unmatched vibes at Fête à Blanc. Come dressed in your finest island chic white attire and indulge in a premium carnival experience like no other. Experience live performances by Nadia Batson and Sass, Patrice Roberts and the 18 Band, Sean Marshall, Lyrical, Ramonapi, Juby, and many more. Get your tickets now at IslandEtickets.com. Physical tickets available in Trinidad at SRP on the Avenue, Showaholic, Trin City Mall, Port of Spain, and Center City Mall. Happy's Waterhole, Pleasantville, Avala, Hotland Plaza, in Tobago, Barcode Scarborough, Deltec Distributors, Argyle, Pablo Supermarket Argyle, Jade Monkey Crown Point, Showaholics Lowland, and any committee member. Immerse, illuminate, indulge. Saturday 25th October 2025 from 5 p.m. at the magnificent Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort. Dress code Highland Chic, all white. Nirvana. Fête à Blanc, where luxury meets rhythm and elegance meets euphoria. Don't just attend, arrive in style.
The official hub for Tobago Carnival 2025. Tobago Updates presents the We Carnival series, where mass meets culture. Catch us live with exciting interviews and spectacular performances from Verse, Tam Tam, and many more. Stay locked in for your chance to win tickets to hottest carnival events, a carnival bar hopping experience for you and your crew, and a weekend stay at Mandalina Grand Hotel. It's happening right here. Tobago Updates, We Carnival.
If you see the size on that bam bam big energy, colossal energy, and it turns up on the tension, move in one direction, go shadow you. Me and you jamming on the junction or the avenue. You can't refuse the good vibes, real vibes, keep it we energy.
you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We continue conversations this morning. Tobago's top steel bands go head to head in the ultimate showcase of rhythm, passion and power, and this is from Pan Trinbago. And guess who's here with us this morning? Yes, the president of Pan Trinbago herself, Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to Tobago Update Stars, I must say.
Yes.
You know, seeing you every morning is such a pleasure, and I am really happy to be here.
And of course, we are happy to have you here with us this morning to talk all things Carnival, all things Pan. No better person to have this conversation with this morning. And, you know, I was listening to the ad for the Pan Omega, and it says the last Carnival in the world.
That's right.
So let's talk about it. Let's get straight into it. Let's get into Pan Trinbago's involvement in Tobago Carnival and what we can look forward to as we display our national instrument during that period.
All right, so it's Pan Omega. It's a happy time again for panorama around the world. As you know, we have several panoramas throughout the Caribbean and also in the international space. And for Pan Omega, which is the last panorama of the year, all right, and so it's an exciting time for all pan lovers around the world to come and enjoy the last bit of pan before we get into the alpha, which is the Trinidad Panorama. So we start Trinidad and Tobago National Panorama. So we start the panorama and we are going to end the panorama in the Tobago space. And I think that is something in itself, not only, you know, for the bands, but also for the island, because you also look at panorama as a festival. Panorama does not just start on the stage. It starts in the communities, that preparation. So it's all about the socio-economic factors of the entire festival. And I tell you, I can't wait to see what this weekend will look like, knowing that it is Pan Omega, which is the Saturday, and then Blue Food. You know, because a number of my colleagues and friends from the Trinidad space will be coming to Tobago for the panorama. And trust me, I've already arranged maxi taxi. I told them, you all are not going back the next day because there's Blue Food.
That's right, that's right. So the island is buzzing with activities for that weekend. So, I mean, boasting to be the last panorama for the year, and as you mentioned, I didn't even realize that we start the panorama season and we end it Trinidad and Tobago. That is pan our thing anyway, so we could lay claim to that. You know, what are some of the things that excite you about the last panorama being here on the island of Tobago, and how are all the bands going to be incorporated in actually executing the vision?
All right, so the Tobago House of Assembly Panchams, you know, we normally have that in February, March, whenever there is Carnival. But what this has done is to allow Tobago to carve out its own taste in terms of panorama. So it is going to be a massive street festival. You just can imagine those bands lining up from Lower Milford Road, performing, because you know in Trinidad they said that the best, it is said that the best performance is on the drag. And you know the drag is where you have more people on the drag than in the savannah itself. 20, 30,000 persons on the drag, because you're so up close with the bands and enjoying that energy and that passion. So Milford Road will definitely come alive with all the bands. And from there, now we are trying it in the Market Square space for the very first time. And so we are hoping that, you know, the logistics and everything, that it really, really enhances the product. And so that in itself for me is what I think will be I should say, the energy that will come, because, you know, Pan and the man and the people around it. So it's not going to be like in the grandstand, Queen's Park Savannah, where we are there and you are there. So that space between is going to be up close and center. So we're going to feel the energy, we're going to feel the love from the performances.
I know Mrs. Ramsey Moore, you stated that there was the THA Pan Champs in February. Is the Pan Omega a shifting of the Panchams to the Tobago Carnival, or does the Pancham still exist separately?
No, it's not separated. We would have had the negotiations. As a matter of fact, I must say that we were called to a meeting by Secretary for Tourism and Culture, Tashia Boris, and Niall George, her assistant. And so they would have requested and they would have asked for us to move the Panchams into the October Carnival space closer. So, you know, it's a forerunner, liven up the place, getting it ready for, because take, for example, like in St. Lucia, Lucian Carnival. I love St. Lucia Carnival. St. Lucia Carnival starts with one weekend. You have Panorama, and then you have the Calypso, and then you have the Soca. So that's one weekend. And the following weekend, then is where you move into the parades and so on the street. So it's a total build-up in the parade. And so when that was put to us, immediately we went back to the Tobago region, I should say, because the discussion, I am the president, I am from Tobago, so I provide that kind of support to the Tobago region, as all the regions, because you know we have several regions. And because this is a bit different, we want to make it an international event as it grows. It called for much more dialogue. And so when the idea was brought to us, the regional leaders went back to their member bands since last year, October, I must say, and they had the discussion. And one of the things that was said to the bands is that, listen, you can use your same Panorama tune, so it does not be an additional cost in terms of the arranger. And by using your Panorama tune, what that would have happened, your stateside could have just had the music, because Captain Jama's my band is going with its Panorama tune. And so the stateside knew it, so it's just about teaching the additional players who would have forgotten some of the notes and so on. So that will not really be an additional cost to the band. And so the members agreed, and in the follow-up discussions with the Tobago House of Assembly, we said, listen, now there are advantages and disadvantages. So because you have to mobilize again, then we will need additional prizes.
Yes.
And what it is going to do for the Tobago bands, it is going to help them to prepare, because as you know, in Tobago, corporate Tobago funding is very difficult. So, you know, Panorama starts in November, right?
Yes.
So this event now will assist the Tobago bands in generating additional revenue to get themselves organized to take on the bigger battle November, December, January, February.
So I know that you're trying to include all bands in Tobago in the Pan Omega. Is it that you're going to create categories of competition, or is it going to be a general category, as in the Panchams? So
we tried it this year for the first. The region has tried it this year for the first time in terms of Pan Omega. So yes, there will be categories. So the single pan bands will perform in the pre-show, and then the small category, and then the large category. All right, so those medium and large bands will fall in the large category, and then the small bands, because you know Tobago has about 8 or 9 small bands, and they all do well in the national competition. So I think I really am excited about Saturday. I am asking Tobagonians to come out and support your bands. A number of Trinidadians are coming across. They are so excited. Problem is, as usual, boat and
plane.
But they are excited because, as you know, the Trinidad community is a huge steel pan lover community. And so they are all looking forward to the event. And we're going to start it great. And coming after Panorama, then I must put a plug in for that. We have BP Renegades and Massey Trinidad All Stars will be here to join in the Pan and Powder.
I was now going to ask about the Pan and Powder. I was now going to ask about the Pan and Powder. Pan
and Powder is a great event, you know, in Trinidad, in South San Fernando, and also we are looking to go to the east of Trinidad this year with Pan and Powder. And so Tobago has its own Pan and Powder, which is going to be another massive event, and with all those bands again. I mean, you cannot have Carnival without you have the steel pan in it. It's a big, significant component of the celebration. Pan is Trinidad and Tobago. It is our national musical instrument. And I am so proud that Tobago is holding its own as a brand, the Panorama brand. which is the Tobago Panorama, THA Tobago Panorama. Listen, in St. Lucia, Panorama is a big thing across there, and they only have 4 bands.
Right.
Wow.
Only have 4 bands, but each band they allowed to play it's a warm-up piece, and then they go into the competition piece. Grenada is doing it, Antigua is doing it, and these islands look forward to us providing them with technical advice, with judges, with a number of our players go across, and it is the same thing that is happening now. Trinidad players are coming across and being a part of what we have for all Trinidad and Tobago. So when I talk about economics of package, it's already started. It's how this will benefit because when the players come, you have to put them up. It's for the service providers. So it has already started in terms of the benefits that come down to the small man. The man who's selling the chow in the panyard, the lady who's selling the bacon shack, the lady who's selling the fries and the wings in the night. So you provide opportunities for the drill masters, and everybody will benefit. So when a band receives its prize, it's really, really, really going to trickle back to every single player, every single drill master, whoever arranger come to brush up on whatever people forget, and going down the transportation, the man who paint in the rack, the man who weld in the rack. So it's a trickle-down effect. So I don't want when the technocrats, let me just say it, when the technocrats looking at the figure, don't look at it as though all our money for Pan Tobago. It's all the money that's going to trickle down in the economy. And all the money that you will receive because we attract a large audience. And so don't look at a price at 300,000. If you should know. Because it is not just appearing on stage. It is all that is taking place 2 months from the event in every single panyard throughout Trinidad, well, throughout Tobago, I should say. And so, as president, I am proud when I go to the panyard and I see all these young people. We are the gatekeepers. Let me look into the camera and say it. I don't know which one of the cameras, but I look into this one. We are the gatekeepers as leaders in our community space to sit in a panyard from 6 in the evening until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, ensuring that every single young person that passes through that space is safe. That is an invaluable contribution. So you can't pay the steel band man. So don't look at the amount that is on the prize for the prizes, because we work extremely hard. We too play a role in the governance of this country. And as such, today's budget day, we look
that's right, put that plug in there.
Put the plug in. We look forward to all that we, deserve in terms of the work that we do. So it's Pan Omega, Tobago, it's your time. Let us build this product as we start a fresh new approach to Panorama on the island. And I really, really look forward to seeing all of you. Well, Tobago updates always in everything. They like saltfish. They like salt.
Mrs. Ramsey Moore, we talk all kind of thing about Pan in Tobago, the activities, but we ain't talk no money yet, In terms of like entrance fee, cost for the public.
So
both events.
$150 is for Panorama. I know people love to ask for complimentary tickets. Oh God, or just pay and support the Pan Man this time now. For the first event, pay and support the Pan Man. Because let me tell you something. I see, and the people who are asking for complimentaries are the people who could afford it.
All the time.
They want the complimentary, they get up in the complimentary box, they drink, they eat, and everything for free. And the pan man in the panyard struggling every night, playing, learning notes.
For their entertainment.
Come on.
Yeah.
So for this one, Tobagonians and Trinidadians don't call the president for the complimentary. So the show starts at 6 p.m. pre-show. And then the competition aspect of it starts at 7. And I really, really tell you, it is going to be great. As you know what the carnival does, so we will lined up on the streets. I mean, we have been working closely with the police. I want to compliment the region for doing a fantastic job. the Tobago region and the staff of the region. Pan Tobago will, of course, send the staff as necessary and to provide the support. It is not just the teaching, we are building an international product because we want it to grow and grow and grow. And so by the time the airport opens, I hope it opens soon,
everybody.
By the time it opens and we have those international flights, I mean, I go to Panorama around the world, you know. I've been to Canada, I've been to New York, all around the world where we are invited to participate, we go. So that is why I am excited about the Tobago Pan Omega, the brand.
Right.
I am excited because I know this is a start, but I know it is going to grow, and it provides an opportunity to keep our bands active here in this space. We don't have as much opportunity as some of the bands in Trinidad. We don't have corporate Tobago pumping any kind of... Every single band in Tobago should be wearing somebody's brand. Everyone for this Pan Omega. So as we continue to demonstrate the goodness and the goodwill, for 2026, I am hoping, Pan Omega, I am hoping that together with the region and with our leaders here, which is our area representatives, those who are there, we'll be able to somehow convince corporate Tobago to invest in the steel bands, invest in the community, invest in every young person that you see playing the national musical instrument.
And you know, I want to endorse this because I have seen the impact of things like PAN. You know, as you mentioned, invest in the young person, and you spoke earlier about being in the pan yard from 6 p.m. to 2:30 to ensure that they are safe. And not just to ensure that they are safe, but to provide a space where they feel as if they can be themselves, they can relax, and not in trouble, and not on the corner with the pusher man, you know. I'm in a space where I'm learning a skill, where I'm learning discipline. You know, so it's all of these things that you can really identify from being in a panyard, being under the discipline and the instruction of somebody who is teaching you a skill. And you also mentioned the fact that we lend our skills to different islands, technical support.
That's right.
And these are things that are, to me, in my own interpretation, strengthening the brand of the pan.
Of course.
You know, and ensuring that we have a product that can stand up to international standards. And so I must say kudos to Pan Tobago, kudos to all the persons who have seen the importance of the pan. And as you mentioned, I do hope that the powers that be see that we are trying to establish something that we can really be proud of and hold ownership to here in Trinidad and Tobago. So corporate TNT, we're calling on you guys, government agencies, whoever you are, pan is ours. So let us continue to make it beautiful and make all the resources that we need available. In closing, is there anything else you'd like to share with our viewers this morning?
All right, so it's an exciting time. Today is Monday. We are building into Tobago Carnival. And so obviously the week has started off on a very bright note because I am here. So it's a bright note. So it's Monday, then it's Tuesday, it's Wednesday, it's Thursday. Visit your panyards in your community. Carry something for the young people, even if it's water, even if it's juice. Just go there. And by Friday night, every panyard will be hot like Panorama Fire. Pan Omega Fire, I should say. And then on Saturday morning, Scarborough will be transformed. One side of the road, bands will be there, all the racks, everything well decorated. And then the event starts. I want to remind all my good Tobagonian friends and Tobagonian pan lovers and our Trinidadians and those regional persons around the world who will be coming home. Pan Omega will be fantastic on Saturday, starting at 6 p.m. $150. There are tickets available online, and also there are tickets at the Tobago Region's office. So today I want to see a big rush in the Region's office, which is at
Canby.
Not Canby. We are in Scarborough right now by TLH building, yes. Upstairs TLH building. The Region's office is there. You go up there and buy your tickets. For this entire week, we want to see all tickets, just as in Trinidad. Don't let your Trinidadians outdo you Tobagonians. Yeah, when you remember we have to put up and say tickets sold out. So by Wednesday, I want to hear tickets sold out in Tobago for Pan Omega. So see you there. The president is awaiting you with the members of the Tobago region, the chairman, Karen Fletcher, and all the others. So we await you at Pan Omega on Saturday.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We've been speaking with Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, President of Pan Tobago, as we prepare for Pan Omega, taking place this Saturday right here on the beautiful island of Tobago. Come one, come all. Make sure you have your tickets in hand and support what we call the best instruments in the world. Oh gosh, in the world.
In the world.
It's the sweetest thing, when you hear some little pan music, you just can't help but to shake a leg. So support the instruments, support the movement, and support the improvement of what we know as our sweet, sweet steel pan. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, but we don't end our programming here. We head on over to GMT, which is Good Morning Tobago, and we do hope that you can stay with us. As you say, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Lamfest 2005 now in its third year, being the second event on the calendar for the did not disappoint as it showcased the culinary skills of our local chefs here on the island. This unique event also saw scores of people eager to taste and enjoy the festivities.
Today we gather not just to celebrate our third annual Lamfest, but to honor the hard work, passion, and resilience of Tobago's farmers, chefs, and entrepreneurs who continue on agricultural success. Lamfest is more than just an event. It's a showcase of innovation, community, and the rich culinary heritage that make it unique. Each display and each conversation today tells a story of dedication and progress.
All of this started 3 years ago in my conference room at the Division of Food Security. The Tobago Integrated Livestock Association, they were now forming, and they understood that the small ruminant industry needed to be developed on the island. And I gave them that responsibility of assisting us at the division to develop the small ruminant industry, because it was non-existent. We hardly had any stock on the farms. And 3 years later, we're now having 3 lamb fests in Tobago.
This is the first Lamfest where all the meats have been sold out, have been purchased by the caterers. We have 18 caterers on site, and every bit of the meat will purchase. We have no fresh meat. This is the first year, no fresh meat on sale for patrons. So I would say that everything is working in accordance and the market is really developing. I see the Lamb Fest being franchised and possibly being spread out throughout the Caribbean. Who knows, probably international as well.
My name is Gillian. I'm from the UK and I'm staying here for a little while. I was told by my friend that about this Lamb Fest and it's fantastic. My first bite, one of many, it's absolutely so delicious.
I think it's a great initiative because it's an interesting spin on approach to food security in a way that I think Tobagonians could relate to. It's a food festival, so everybody comes, with a belly in their hand and a fair amount of curiosity as to what the caterers will present this year. And so far, I'm not disappointed. This is my family.
Well, my experience has been good. The food is excellent. And I suppose when you come here, you will get lamb in different styles that you don't normally do at home. So that's why I come.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And guys, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Tobago police are investigating 2 sudden deaths discovered just 2 hours apart on Saturday. The deceased have been identified as Michael Small, age 70, and Anderson Godridge, 63, who were found in separate locations across the island. Small's body was discovered near a water tank in Lowlands with no visible signs of violence, while Godridge's body was found unresponsive behind a bridge in Studley Park. Both bodies were taken to the Scarborough mortuary as investigations continue. Additionally, it's Budget Day in Trinidad and Tobago. Finance Minister Devindranath Thakur is set to present his first national budget this afternoon, amid mounting economic pressures and an expectant public. The presentation follows a recent downgrade in Trinidad and Tobago's economic outlook, with Standards & Poor's revising the country's credit rating from stable to negative, citing weak fiscal management and slow growth. However, economists anticipate another deficit and urge government to temper expectations with a disciplined medium-term plan. With low oil prices, stalled projects, and unfulfilled promises, the budget will test the UNC's ability to balance fiscal realism with public trust. And finally, as Trinidad and Tobago awaits the presentation of the 2025-2026 national budget, opposition leader Penelope Beckles has cautioned citizens to expect unrealistic promises rather than meaningful relief from the UNC's government. She urged the UNC to clearly outline its national development framework while maintaining continuity in key programs started under the former administration. Beckles questioned how the government's plan to address revenue shortfalls, rising unemployment, and social instability, given slow energy outputs and the repeal of the Revenue Authority. She also cautioned that any fiscal goodies could come with cuts elsewhere. And that was our news in 90 seconds. This morning, we jump straight ahead into our conversations, and I have the privilege of sitting here right at the Magdalena Grand Hotel this morning with Mr. Walter Stewart. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Now, Mr. Stewart is the president of the National Council of the Parent Teachers Association, and we've had some previous discussions virtually, so it's my pleasure to have you here with me. I almost said in studio, or on location here at the Magdalena Grand, here in Tobago. You're here in the flesh.
Sure.
This morning we're having a number of conversations, but we're starting off, similar to a lot of the topics that we heard in our news in 90 seconds as it pertains to the budget presentation being read this evening by the finance minister. Sure. Where you sit as president of the PTA for Trinidad and Tobago, education has always been at the forefront of the conversation when we look at development nationally. Mm-hmm. Time and time again, we see schools being reopened and a number of schools still not getting the type of attention that it needs. But the actual infrastructure is only one aspect of the overall educational development of our students. Tell us about what the PTA and some of the conversations with teachers and parents have brought to the fore as it pertains to what is being expected.
Thanks a lot, and good morning again, and good morning to your viewership. Good to be here. Let me tell you that a budget is more than just revenue and expenditure. It is about promises, and we know that there have been several promises from this government in their manifestos. It's also about priorities. What are the priority items that you are looking forward to in a budget? And also about the vision of the government for the national development and economic progress of Trinidad and Tobago. And as parents, we are impacted, obviously, by the budgetary allocations to all ministries in particular. And like you said, education has been at the cornerstone of economic progress. And as such, we anticipate that the Ministry of Education will get the largest or the highest budgetary allocation in this, because traditionally we have been in the 1, 2, 3, National Security, Ministry of Health, and of course education have always been prominent with regards to the budget. So we're expecting, especially the government's thrust and looking at education, that the Education Ministry will be given the largest budget. With regards to the expectations, one of the expectations that we have with regards to policy is the Teaching Service Commission and the appointment of principals and acting principals. Ms. Felix, they are, according to the minister himself, in a September post-CAB press conference. He said 90 out of 125 secondary school principals are presently acting. And there are 450 odd primary schools, and more than half of those primary schools, the principals are in acting positions. So that we expect the TSC, Teacher Service Commission, to move with post haste to ensure that we can appoint principals, acting principals, even deans in some instances, to these positions, speaking to stability now, and of course the long-term planning of the substantive post office holder.
Right, but these policies have been in place for a long time, but not implemented
Correct.
to have these positions filled.
Correct.
And, you know, seeing that this was an issue faced by the previous government,
Yes.
is it that there's a structural issue as it pertains to its implementation and not necessarily a policy level issue?
Got you.
And whether governments change or not, if the structure isn't adjusted, you know, specifically by the public servants that are working there, then the problem will continue.
You're correct. To the credit of this government, in their manifesto, which of course is not government's policy, they did indicate that the TSC will not become full-time, because presently they are, well, part-time. Let me use the word terminology, part-time. So that by having them now full-time, they can now be able to appoint and reappoint, as the case might be, principals. They can have their interviews because they now have a full-time arrangement in place, and we can now have our principals and acting principals and deans in their substantive positions permanently appointed.
Excellent. So that means that what is being expected today is that announcement is made
some announcement of that
it will be full-time. Let's talk about the infrastructure, because the infrastructure is not the education,
Correct.
but it's a key part, you know, because we want our students to be functioning in environments that help to foster effective learning.
Correct.
In Tobago particularly, you know, there is a situation where there is also that need for that allocation as it pertains to the schools. We've seen a situation where a school nearby to us right now, that Scarborough Secondary School, has been on the cards to have a new institution for a long time. And this is the cry of a number of educational institutions throughout the island of Tobago, but in Trinidad as well.
Correct.
Right? What are you expecting as it pertains to investment in educational infrastructure?
Let me take you back again to, well, some statistics. Because, Ms. Felix, there are about, again, as I told you, 400 plus primary schools. 55% of those schools are beyond 50 years. So they are aged infrastructure. The secondary schools, of which there are 120, I'm talking nationally now, we're national, of which there are 125, 59% of those schools are post-design life, over 50 years. So certainly, if we have to address the infrastructure of our schools, it would even cost us beyond our $7-8 billion to be allocated, because those schools are going to cost in millions, many of them. And especially now with the advent, well, not the advent, but the reintroduction of laptops in schools, the electrical load has to be conducive enough to be able to take additional devices that all these 18,000 students throughout Trinidad and Tobago will now have coming into our present school structure arrangement. So yes, we are hoping that the government will now seek additional funding via loan or adopt a school. In the previous arrangement with the PNM government, there was the Adopt a School program inviting corporate Trinidad and Tobago to invest in education, so that if this is reintroduced under this regime, we are hoping that we can get some valuable assistance with regards to the infrastructure, and our schools can be comfortable as well, because it's a facet of the school system to make our students comfortable and conducive to learning in our institutions.
Right, and even outside of the government making that announcement of that Adopt a School initiative, you know, the principals and the PTA still has the ability and the authority to call on corporate entities to come and play a part in helping them to upgrade the institution that they're a part
as an organization, we have constantly been doing that, and we continue to be able to call on corporate Trinidad and Tobago, even external agencies as well, to be able to assist with what is taking place in the education system as a whole, more than just the infrastructure, in our schools or learning institutions here in Trinidad and Tobago.
And, you know, you made mention of the laptops that would be introduced. I believe it was said that it would be introduced at the end of September, maybe the beginning of October. So we're looking at that being rolled out now.
On a phased basis as well.
Right. And one of the things that I have always said is that bringing a laptop into school is one thing.
Yes.
But rearranging the curriculum to be able to facilitate that
Correct.
type of new technology in the learning process, the integration of artificial intelligence, and having those software systems and programs that change the way how we see education, having, you know, these students now doing their presentations to the class, having those PowerPoint presentations, submitting assignments via email, you know, being sent assignments online as opposed to coming to class and still having that paper and having to fill out, you know, those survey type questionnaire type questions. You know, they go onto these platforms and they do their exam, they submit their answers and stuff, and they have that feeling of already being in a tertiary environment. Is this a part of the conversations that are being had as it pertains to that rollout of those laptops?
Of course, listen, globally, we are going that way, and whether or not we want to accept it, yes or no, is part of the course. So that we have to indoctrinate, as it were, our students to be able to be IT compliant and to be able to go along with what is presently the norm. It is no longer chalk and talk. We have gone way beyond that. So that we want to encourage our students with regards to the responsible and effective use of the device, because you are quite aware that many of our students could go awry and use the device for other inimical uses rather than for research and for learning as they should. So we want to encourage teachers as well to be able to guide our students to the responsible and effective use of technology via the laptops.
Excellent. And we want to shift gears a bit and talk about one of the things that were implemented in this particular term. We've seen it happen, but it has been presented on a policy level this time around as it pertains to the presence of TTPS officers on a number of the school plans. Give us a bit of an update, because last time we spoke about it coming into play.
Yes.
Now that it is there, give us some feedback on how that has been going.
Well, it's early days yet to make a full assessment of what is presently taking place. We have seen the videos that police officer was locked into a classroom. You know, so there have been some issues with regards to it's called SOPU, School-Oriented Police Unit. So there has been some pushback, as it were, but there has also been some commendations to our police, and hats off, of course, to the TTPS and their involvement in our schools. How did we get here? You're fully aware, because we've been having so many suspensions, 21,000 suspensions in 3 years, and you look at your phone, look at your videos, you see the havoc taking place in our schools. So there had to be a hardline approach to school indiscipline and school violence. We are looking to be able to monitor for the rest of this term until December and see how we can now progress into ensuring that there's reduction in school violence, both in and out, because of course, if you can't do it in the schools, the students are now going out of the schools and there's a brawl. We're now trying to ensure that the presence of the police in schools, even in Tobago schools here, there is the police presence, and we appreciate that. And we are hoping that the presence of the police is going to mitigate substantially what is taking place in school indiscipline and school violence. So it's a work in progress.
And how do you think that has affected the morale of students? Because previously, one of the reservations had to do with, you know, the environment that police presence creates, you know, for students and their morale. You know, how do you think that has impacted, or do you think it has been having a positive or negative effect on that?
Well, let me say again that I want to make a definite assessment on that as well, but to mention that what we are looking for is that trust now between or among the police, the student, the teachers, and of course the parents. Once we can build that trust that the police is there to be able to augment, because there's already a school discipline matrix in all our schools. So the presence of the police is not to replace what is taking place with regards to the discipline in schools, but it's really to augment your discipline matrix to ensure that you can contain the wildness, to use a colloquial word, taking place in our schools.
Excellent. We're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more on this conversation right after this. See you soon.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Tobago, are you ready to light up the night? Join us for the Lambo Credit Union's Moonlight Miles for Diabetes Glow Walk 2025.
On Saturday, November 15th at Cano Bay Nature Resort, we'll walk, glow, and raise awareness for a healthier tomorrow.
From 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends for plenty glow energy.
Registration is just $180 per person, or grab your crew of 5 for only $150 each.
Sign up online or at Lambo Credit Union branches before October 31st.
For more registration and payment details, visit lambocreditunion.com and search Moonlight Miles today.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Tobago, the breakfast vibes you've been waiting for is here.
When you wrong, tell you you's a big dancer.
It's time for Sun Up Tobago, the ultimate breakfast inclusive cooler party that kicks off your carnival in style.
We come to take shots. She come to take shots.
Join us on Thursday, October 23rd from 6 a.m. to 12 noon at Scarborough House, 138 Milford Road. Music pumping, breakfast sizzling, coolers flowing, and vibes unmatched. This is where sun, sea, soca, and celebration collides. Get your early bird tickets now at Pablo Supermarkets, Barcode, Lost Restaurant and Lounge, Signature Cuts, IslandEtickets.com, and committee members. Don't miss the event where Tobago Carnival truly begins. Sun Up Tobago. Come for the breakfast, stay for the vibe.
Tobago Updates Television recognizes women in business. Every Thursday morning on the morning show, we engage with women-owned and operated businesses from right here in Tobago. We'll discover these women, their businesses, what inspired their business, their highs and their lows, and their encouragement to you. Join me, your host, Adana Kambi, this and every Thursday on the morning show from 7:40 a.m. as we celebrate and encourage women in business.
Coconut Brooks Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start to rise. The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power. We are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers. We are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, this morning we are live from the Magdalena Grand Beach Resort here in Tobago. Now this morning I've been chatting with Mr. Walter Stewart, who is the president of the Trinidad and Tobago PTA.
Yes.
And we've been talking a bit about the budget and police presence in schools. Now, on a personal level, for you as a Trinbagonian,
Sure.
you know, we've heard a number of promises that we are not sure
Right.
if they can be actualized in this particular budget. But what are you personally looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to a robust parenting program. Listen, some of the problems that we are facing in our schools is as a direct result of poor or no parenting whatsoever. The manifesto, again, I mean, reference to that, did indicate that there is going to be a parental involvement, or the emphasis greatly is on parenting involvement, because we understand that the government in itself cannot do it all on its own, so that there is need for organizations like the National Council of Parent Teacher Association to work along with. If we are able to guide and counsel our parents as to the proper way in parenting, communicating with their children, discipline, etc., in their homes, it would greatly assist in the way that parents treat their children, the way that children respond to the parents, etc., and would inculcate a better school environment when the students do go off to school. So we are expecting that the government would implement post-haste a robust parenting program, especially to help our parents in impoverished areas. Because I make the point again, when I got my first daughter 35 years ago, there was no manual to indicate how to parent. So that with the assistance of a parenting program, it will certainly help significantly how to parent, how to be a better parent. I take it further. Antenatal. When the mother, pregnant mother, is visiting the health centers, the clinics, there should be a parenting seminar of sorts, not only with her, but of course the significant other, the spouse as well, so that they understand that this is sanctimonious parenthood and that there needs to be a level of understanding as to what you are getting into as a parent.
Understood. And for you, how do you see that being actualized? Because I have seen it work outside of Trinidad and Tobago, but it is usually done at a community level where those community-based organizations would host those co-parenting seminars, you know, new or first-time parent seminars, you know, throughout the community and the different centers. Is it that you see it being integrated into areas of community development, whereby there are usually those short courses that happen within the communities. Do you see that happening as a part of that? Persons being able to leave with certificates saying that I attended this parenting course for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 8 weeks, as it may be, and this is what I've come away with.
Incidentally, all of the above. We presented, the National Council of PTA presented a 21-page document to the government on the parenting program, and almost akin to what you just indicated there. Safe and accept to mention that there'll be a follow-up as well. So besides the 8 weeks or the 6 weeks, as the case might be, there'll be a constant follow-up, where even we have asked the TTPS to get involved as well, so that we can now visit the homes and intimately see what is taking place in the homes and be able to guide further our parents, because there are socioeconomic issues taking place there as well in some homes, so that if we're able to counsel and guide and advise the parents who are facing extreme poverty, for example, or abuse in the homes, for example, or promiscuity, whatever at all there is, we cannot be able to guide the parents accordingly and counsel them. That is also part of the parenting program. So it's also a follow-up to the existing 8 weeks or 6 weeks period. A follow-up session as well, or sessions would be conducted.
Right, and you said that this 21-page document was submitted to the government. Was that this administration or the previous administration?
Well, incidentally, both administrations. But when the government came into office April, we, as it were, reignited the whole process, and we said, listen, we have this parenting proposal, take a look at it, and let's see how we can collaborate in the interest of our parents.
Right, so you did have a meeting with the Minister for Education.
Well, we are under the Ministry of Education, and we submitted to that ministry, and from all indications, they are giving it some serious consideration. So we wait and see what happens, because I gather that there's now going to be one blanket parenting proposal under the school, under the Student Support Service Division, SSSD of the ministry. And of course, we are a part of that committee, thankfully. So of course, there are already inroads into formulating and bringing on board this parenting.
Right, and even as it is currently functioning under the Ministry of Education,
certainly,
is there that plan of integrating it with community development?
Right, yeah, because there are other agencies and ministries also involved as well. And the intent, you are correct, is to bring it all under one umbrella, under one banner, and have a national parenting program throughout Trinidad and of course Tobago as well.
Excellent, because we definitely don't want to leave out.
Oh, definitely not. Tobagonian, as you said. I'm a born and bred Tobagonian, so of course I must see the interest of my Tobago people.
Right, and even as it pertains to that budget that's being read today, were you able to have any of those conversations with the minister where you could have kind of slid in some of those requests for the budget this year?
And let me say, thankfully, that we have this open door policy with the new minister. Not that it wasn't there before, but it is now intensified, let me use that word, with the minister. So occasionally, yes, even in telephone banter, for example, we are able to project some of the issues that we want to bring on the table and which we consider priority items. And I'm sure that in the budget to be read this afternoon, we are going to be hearing some of those being rolled out, the proposal that we have been insinuating to fiscal.
Excellent. And even as we wrap up our discussion this morning, is there anything in particular that you want to be sure to reiterate, or just to put out there to, as we go into this budget this evening?
One of the issues we are looking at, Ms. Felix, is the involvement of our parents, closer involvement of our parents. And we are proposing legally now that the government would look at giving public servants, they have control of the public servants, time off once a term to attend parent-teacher association meetings. We think it is valuable that our parents get the opportunity. They have no excuse, because the government will give you the requisite time off, 2 hours, 3 hours per term, to be able to attend the PTA meetings of your children's school. And of course, we're hoping that we can pass legislation or some policy where that can be realized. And of course, after we do that with the government, we are now attacking, also we are now going after, let me use that terminology, the private sector, so that the same could be afforded to private sector employees as well.
Excellent. We want to thank you so much for your time here this morning and coming in and giving us those perspectives, particularly as it pertains to education in Trinidad and Tobago and investments in parenting and giving those resources that are needed. We're going to take a quick break right here, and we'll be back with much more right after this. See you soon.
Hear me neighbor, 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying. Tobago is number one. I am you and you are me. Together we're stronger. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tapago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tapago's at your service.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Tobago, are you ready to light up the night? Join us for the Lambo Credit Union's Moonlight Miles for Diabetes Glow Walk 2025.
On Saturday, November 15th at Canoe Bay Nature Resort, we'll walk, glow, and raise awareness for a healthier tomorrow.
From 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. Bring your family and friends for plenty glow energy.
Registration is just $180 per person, or grab your crew of 5 for only $150 each.
Sign up online or at Lambo Credit Union branches before October 31st.
For more registration and payment details, visit lambocreditunion.com and search Moonlight Miles today.
The road is calling. Tobago Carnival. Neon is coming. Presenting the mashup king himself, DJ Kai, alongside the voice of the people, Boy Boy. The dynamic duo bringing pure fire to the road, CSI Khaled and Selecta Stefan. And Tobago's own, the people's champion, DJ Big Youth. This is Neon Night Mass. One road, one rhythm, one experience. Tobago Carnival 2025. We outside.
Show me that wine. Turn around, girl, don't be shy. Hello.
Nirvana, Tobago's premier all-inclusive event for Carnival 2025.
About the way you blow my mind. Hold me tight and wave your hands to the sky like so. Just look at the person next to you and say welcome to
Join us for a night of elegance, energy, and unmatched vibes at Fête Gobelin. Come dressed in your finest island chic white attire and indulge in a premium carnival experience like no other. Experience live performances by Nadia Batson and Sass, Patrice Roberts and the 18 Band, Sean Marshall, Lyrical, Ramonapi, Juby, and many more. Get your tickets now at islandtickets.com. Physical tickets available in Trinidad at SRP on the Avenue, Showaholic, Trin City Mall, Port of Spain, and Center City Mall. Happy's Waterhole, Pleasantville, Avala, Hotland Plaza, in Tobago, Tobago, Barcode Scarborough, Deltec Distributors Argyle, Pablo Supermarket Argyle, Jade Monkey Crown Point, Shoeholics Lowland, and any committee member. Immerse, illuminate, indulge. Saturday 25th October 2025 from 5 p.m. at the magnificent Magdalena Grand Beach and Golf Resort. Dress code Highland Chic, all white. Nirvana, Fête à Blanc, where luxury meets rhythm and elegance meets euphoria. Don't just attend, arrive in style.
I have a bumper compass. When I spot the mainland, right. So I reaching it first. They call me Christopher Columbus. Nah, Christopher Clutius. I don't need no binoculars. That bumper heavy, I need big like a boss. So shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, just shake it, shake it like the ocean. Move it pure devotion. Other man get busy, but I steady in the motion. I sail through every ocean without no caution. That girl they're looking foreign, but that bumper moving local. Have a bumper compass. When I spot the mainland, you know I'm reaching it first. They call me Christopher Columbus. Nah, Christopher Clutius. I don't need no binoculars. That bumper heavy, that bumper from your mother or the motherland. When I whine on you, baby girl, it's so spiritual. Don't give no other man, cause it might get very physical. I'm joking, but you know that bumper they it's illegal, so give me girl. Shake it, shake it, shake it, roll it, roll it, roll it,
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix, and this morning we continue our conversations and we are chatting all about Tobago Carnival 2025. And as we're talking about Carnival, we're talking about new soca releases.
Correct.
This morning right here at the Magdalena Grand Beach Resort. With me, I'm sitting here with Mr. Kidani O'Connor. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning to you.
I don't know what to refer to you as this morning, if I should say captain or what.
No, I'm a pirate. I'm a pirate.
All right, so we're in full captain,
full
pirate
mode.
gear.
Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirate gear. Is this reflective of the song that you've released for this carnival? Tell us a bit about that.
All right, so first and foremost, good morning, everyone. My name is Kidani. The name of the song is Shake It. And you're probably hearing Shake It and wondering, what does that have to do with a pirate-looking hat and a pirate patch and that kind of thing? But it's all a part of the character. Now, the song, if you permit me to, can we go into it a little bit? So
yes, of course.
So lovely. So, shout out to my producer as well, Ray. Also, writer and that kind of thing as well. Very multi-talented. But while I was in the studio, we were coming up with concepts, different things, and I was just freestyling. And one of the things that came out of the freestyle was Christopher Columbus, Christopher Gluteus. So with that being said, I felt like, you know what? That would be the theme of the song. And since we're talking about Christopher Columbus, he was, captain, he came to the Caribbean. We want to go into the details of him.
Right.
But in essence, I am supposed to be Christopher Gluteus looking for the ladies, the posterior, that end, and I'm telling them to shake it, So while we was in the ocean, we really had a hunger. We thought we saw a lobster tail. I had to drop my anchor. Then I feel a big wave. It feel like a tsunami. I was watching the bumper and the bumper was watching me.
Understood. Tell us about your presence or your presentation at the Soca Titans this year. What are you expecting to bring to the table, and what are you expecting from the overall competition?
Yeah. So my expectation is I'm going out there to have a great time, an excellent time. I felt like this was always in the making in terms of transitioning into an artist because, as you know, I've done hosting, I've been an MC, I dance, I do a lot of things, I wear a lot of hats. And I feel like now is the time to step into a new phase, as we have Tobago Carnival and the eyes are on Tobago. I feel like it's time that, we put Tobago on the map in terms of showing that we have talent here. We could stand on our own 2 feet, we could produce good music, and not only produce good music, but we have great entertainers over here as well. And I would just like to put myself as one of those persons that is able to portray that and give that energy and show that, the carnival, it feels Tobago. different flavor. So it's to bring a flavor that feels like Tobago, it feels authentic, it feels organic, it feels nice, and it's something fresh. That's the aim. In terms of plans and that kind of thing, if it is you're watching, make sure and be at Market Square on the 22nd of October. We're coming out all guns blazing. We're coming out to entertain, to make sure that you have a great time, great performance. I don't want to let too much secrets out the bag, but trust and believe that we have some major things coming. And in terms of my expectation from the crowd and that kind of thing, I just expect Tobagonians to come out and have a good time, and get away from this thing of there's the term dancer you had before we dancer, bro. As you see local talents, it doesn't even have to be me alone, but anyone local, once it is that you see that, they're really trying, they're doing something good, support them, whether it's sharing the music, whether it is listening to it, whether it's putting somebody else onto the music, we got to learn to kind of support our own so that it could flourish here and not just support international acts that might come here and do their thing and then leave with everything, invest in the artists that are here and are able to get back to the island like that. So, just come out and have a good time. Soca Titans, we're coming for the crown, we're coming to have a good time, and we're coming to flatten the place and allow all the ladies to shake it.
Excellent. Even as we round off our discussion this morning, tell us, how has the support been from persons thus far, and how can persons continue to support you?
The support thus far has been excellent. A lot of people have been reaching out, encouraging me, you're singing good, you're doing this, keep doing it, keep doing that. And I appreciate all the support for everyone sending a message, for anyone sharing, for anyone liking. Even if it is that you took your time out of your day to go on YouTube and type in Shake It Kidani and listen to this song, at least give me some kind of constructive criticism, whether it's, I like this, we're taking it all. I appreciate it. Also, if it is that you're willing to support and that kind of thing, the music is available on all platforms here. Spotify, Apple Music, anything that you can play music on, we have it there. Yeah, so make sure and check it out. It's Kidani, Shake It. I'm spelling Kidani because a lot of people just get mixed up with the spelling of the name. It's Kedane. That is Kidani. Yeah, don't mix it up. No I. Kedane. You can check me out on Instagram as well. It's Kidani_O'Connor. I'm on TikTok as well. It's King Kidani. I'm on Facebook. It's Kidani O'Connor. And on YouTube, it's Kidani O'Connor. I think those are all the social media handles.
We want to continue to encourage you to do what you are passionate about and fly Tobago's flag globally, not just locally. And, we're hoping that those opportunities present themselves for you to be able to have that input. As you indicated, the passion to want to help mold what that Tobago Carnival product is. And I think it's just a matter of having the right conversations with the right persons and being involved at the right level. There's a Tobago Festivals Commission that's in charge of the carnival, submitting those proposals and just getting active and getting involved. And even as you are out there in the soca industry and in the entertainment and your face is known, I believe that your contributions will be valued. So is there anything that you want to say to Tobagonians or this whole audience globally this morning looking on before we go?
Well, I would like to take the time to say, arr. I joke it. No, but on a reels, Tobago Carnival, it's a really good look on Tobago. The eyes are on Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, get yourself together, get a costume, support, even if it is participating heavily. Come out and watch, partake, just be a part of this experience. It's something you don't want to miss, especially the Soca Titans. You'll make sure and come out in your numbers. Team Kidani all the way. Yeah. And I want to say again, thank you to everyone supporting thus far. Kusha, thank you so much. Special mentions to my entire family, my friends. I don't want to start calling names because that's a dangerous thing to do.
Understood.
So if I call a name, just know you run out of time, right? Well,
guys, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's conversations. We want to thank you so much for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am Chanel Felix, and have a great day.
Shake it, roll it, roll it, shake it. While I was in the ocean, I really had a hunger. I thought I see a lobster tail. I had to drop my anchor. Then I feel a big wave. It feel like a tsunami. I was watching a bumper and the bumper was watching me. Get a bumper so big, get a bumper so mad. I want to hold it down. Let me put in my plan. She said, but you're a pirate. I watch it and I say, she threw it back. I say, I buy the thing. She said, oh my God. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Back it, back it, back it on me. Shake it, yeah, shake it. They bring that bumper in the ring. Tra la 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 la. Look at bumper in the ring. Tra la la la. Bring your bumper in the ring. Tra la 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 la. And they're big and wide and big, big, big. My girl.